I know everyone in every book it says this, but it's just so true. You need to internalize this. I think if you have mistakes, it's basically just that is part of figuring out what to do. Plan all the time. Only planning, thinking about, dreaming about it, but they don't start it.
Right? Execution, right? You also take care of the housing and kids and everything. How do you manage your own work time when you're working from home?
I think for me it works fantastically. I really enjoy it. I think it's really good.
It looks nice.
Nice and chilled. Great. Why does he give it to you though?
Oh yeah, she didn't know. I think you ordered it.
I think so. Yes, I think it's
Japanese guy thinks.
Okay.
So today is my friend Max's last day. So we came to the Japanese izakaya. I have been in Singapore for more than 30 days and I have never been to Japanese lesson. So we decided to come here in the Japanese lesson. So Max-san, kanpai.
Okay, kanpai. Good stuff.
I haven't drank Asahi for the first time in 40 days.
Oh wow. Oh really?
I always drink Tiger.
There you go.
All
The
right.
taste from home.
So how is your Singapore? Because you're almost going back.
It was great. So the first time I was in Singapore was in 2008.
Yeah.
And that was also the last time I was in Singapore. Well, other than like at the airport to transfer sometimes with flights, I was in Singapore, but I in the city and for a visit. The last time was 2008, so it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So it was great that you moved here because it gave also a very good reason to visit. And
I really enjoy spending time with you.
It was great. I really like the city. I think it's really cool. Driving around a little bit, exploring some things. In general, the whole flair and atmosphere, I think is really good. So I think you made a really good choice moving here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I hope you're coming back though.
Every year.
Every year.
At least once.
Promise.
At least once. And as long as you stay here, yes.
Oh yeah. So you have been working a lot in the e-commerce and you have your own business. So a lot of my viewers, they are small entrepreneur or someone who's still working in the company as a salaryman, but they want to make extra cash, or eventually they want to quit the job and start their own business. So today I want to give them some sort of like advice to my viewers. So what do you think about what makes to be a successful entrepreneur? What do you think?
I think what you said to me a couple days ago was very profound. Is that you think that a lot of people who have dreams or who have a good idea, they might start with it, but they give up too early. They give up too early. So I think that one thing that makes a good entrepreneur is someone who can persevere. Right? Who just doesn't give up. And then if you have challenges and if you have mistakes, I know everyone in every book it says this, but it's just so true. You need to internalize this. I think if you have mistakes, it's basically just a lesson. Okay, what not to do. That is part of figuring out what to do, because you just eliminated one track of what not to do. So you got to persevere and do the next thing. I think that makes a successful entrepreneur is like this perseverance, having good ideas and moving forward with them, doing something, even if it's just 10 minutes. Right?
A lot of people quit too early.
Or don't even start. They just plan all the time. Only planning, thinking about, dreaming about it, but they don't start it.
Right? Execution, right?
And even small steps. I think that's really important. And of course, having the smarts and knowing also what you don't want to do, what you should maybe outsource, what someone else should do. I think that's also important, but it's not that important. More important is just that you get the execution going. Right? I think that's definitely one aspect of a great entrepreneur.
Thank you. I know you work. The remote work is getting popular and very essential in this world. And I know you also work remotely.
Yeah.
Recently. What time you usually wake up, and how do you usually work? And then you also take care of the housing and kids and everything. How do you manage your own work time when you're working from home?
I think it's great. I think working from home, I think it's, for me, it works fantastically. I really enjoy it. I think it's really good. I usually it's pretty much a routine, get up between, about maybe 6:30 or something like this, make breakfast for the kids, get the kids out of bed, do all of that. That's pretty much then usually all done by 8:30 or something like this, 8:30. That's my first time kind of then going in front of the computer, just checking out what's going on, what I'm going to do for the day. For a little bit, maybe for like 15-20 minutes. And then sometimes I drop the kids off at school, or one of the kids, my wife, the other kid, one kid. And then basically at 9:05 or 9:10, that's when I'm then fully at
so
work.
You finish all daddy work by 9 o'clock.
Yeah. And then, perform. I think one of the best things though, as great as that is, it's also kind of like the separation of affairs. So you can concentrate, right? You have your own space. I think that's really important. That works out for me very well at home because I have my own office. I don't think it would work very well working from home if you don't have your own space.
Right.
You don't have your
If
own
you only
office.
have a living room and that kind of stuff, that's not going to work.
Yeah, you need to basically be able to physically separate where you do work and where you do non-work things. I think that's really important. But for me, it's perfect. It really works out really, really nicely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think after COVID in US, for example, do you think the remote workers will stay?
I think so. Because I think part of the U.S. psyche, as much as I understand from it, because I'm also just immigrant to the U.S. Right? I didn't grow up in the U.S., so I'm still figuring out the U.S. psyche to a point. But I think going to the office was a big part of it. So COVID has kind of broken that. I think there's going to be industries, or there will be industries where like office work is going to come back, where there's a combination of that. I also think that I miss my team and my colleagues and everything. I think it's really nice to be able to meet up, but at the same time, I think concentrated work.
But you never want to go
great.
back to office every single day.
No.
The combination.
No, and I think it's going to that's going to persevere, because it's still going to continue this year, probably until into next year as well. So I think this is going to stick around. And overall, it's probably good for some industries, but I think like restaurants and food delivery, that's where we see a lot of revolution happening right now.
Okay, so next question is often asked quite a lot. If you don't have any money, what would you start from to start making some money? Okay, you just don't have much money. What do you start from? What kind of business are you going to be engaged if you don't have any money upfront?
I think what's important is to set the foundation, or to have some foundation first. So before I can answer that question, I will answer the question. That before I answer the question, I would say that if you're in this kind of situation and you want to get started, typically, or very rarely, you're in a situation where you can have someone who's then single, doesn't have any other commitments, and can just concentrate on work. Right? You still have family to take care of. You might still have like all sorts of other types of obligations for your own personal life. The very for me, what really helped at the moment at the beginning is being quite organized about what I'm going to do at what point. I often get thoughts in my head, oh, I need to do this, I need to work on this, I need to work on that. I write it down immediately. I've got like a task management app. I just write it down. It's like an inbox. So then I don't need to bother with it anymore, because I spend every day 20 minutes in the morning just going through organizing everything that I want to do, and that's kind of like the inbox. But that mechanism really helps you a lot. Or in this case, for other people it might not work, but for me it works really well. Just helps me. I don't have to think about it anymore, so I can just go ahead and organize my time. And then what would I start? I would start with the things that I'm very comfortable with, right? Like the things that I've learned over the years. So I typically make money online. I make money in advertising and e-commerce.
So you start
selling something, but I would likely start with digital goods in my case, rather than physical goods, simply because of the time investment and that's required. But it always depends on the opportunity, right? So